Pressure is mounting for the finance minister to tell the nation if he or his predecessors knew about the concerns surrounding the operations of Stocks and Securities Limited SSL. Several questions have been raised by the opposition PNP less than 24 hours before the government is expected to speak on policy issues relating to the financial sector. The PNP held a press conference today following a meeting of its National Executive Council and insisted that the transparency is needed. The multi-million-dollar fraud scheme at Stocks and Securities Limited SSL has been one of the hot-button topics dominating discussions in recent days. On Sunday, the opposition PNP reiterated that the resignation of Everton McFarlane as Executive Director of the Financial Services Commission FSC is not the end of the matter. They want Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke to address critical issues when he speaks on Monday.
We are calling for the Minister of Finance to indicate to the country whether the staff of the FSC sent what is called an examination report to the board for the years 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021 in relation to what was happening at SSL.
Now, a 2017 report from the FSC stated that SSL had a culture of non-compliance and mismanagement of client funds. Hence, the opposition spokesman on finance had another request.
We are also calling on the Minister of Finance to indicate whether the board of the FSC sent to him as Minister of Finance or his predecessors reports on the operations of SSL, and whether they indicated to him as minister the concerns they had about FSL and the state that SSL was in. Did the minister share any of these reports with the cabinet or the prime minister of the country? It is very important in the interest of transparency and openness that these reports, if they were done, be made public.
Julian Robinson adds that the public has a right to know what the FSC did when they got the information, if recommendations were made, and if they were followed. He's hoping that the Auditor General will conduct an audit of the FSC.
The second set of issues that we have concern about relate to whether there are government agencies that had investments or accounts at SSL, and what the status of those accounts would be, and whether those accounts still have the monies that would have been invested in them. We also want to know whether the Financial Services Commission itself had an account at SSL, whether it invested money at SSL, or whether it had any other relationship with SSL. It is important that taxpayers know whether those monies that would have been invested on behalf of the public purse are safe.
Mr. Robinson adds that Jamaica has a poor track record of prosecuting the masterminds of complex fraud schemes and is suggesting independent forensic experts from overseas to help investigators.